This is our first lesson for using Herf Jones eDesign program. Go to any classroom desktop computer, log in, and then in the search bar, actually go to Chrome first. This is always going to work better in Chrome. Try not to use Firefox or Explorer. Go to Chrome, and in the top of the navigation bar, type in My HJ Yearbook, then hit enter. When you do, it's going to give you two results at the top. One is My Herf Jones Yearbook. The other one is Sign into My Herf Jones Yearbook. They're shockingly different. Always choose the top one that has myhjyearbook.com. That's the link I want you to click. When you get here, you're going to be asked to log in. I've already logged in, but you're going to see a different picture each time you log in. And on the left-hand side is your username and password. That is something you need to set up with me before you get to this point. So username, password. Then depending on how many years you've been on staff, you may see multiple years. Everyone this year needs to click on 2023. When you do, you're going to see our home page. Next thing to do is click on Design, then go to Pages. Here is a quick tour of what's called a yearbook ladder. This is everything from page 1 down to page 225. 225, 226. Let me show you what a random page looks like. This is the pages 58 and 59, the UIL debate page. On the left-hand side, you're going to see what the page topic is, like mock trial, orgs closed, sports open, and so on. It'll give you the page numbers right here. This little word right here will tell you what chapter it's in. These are all clubs and organizations chapter. You'll see the sports chapter starts down here. And eventually you're going to see people's names underneath that, like who's assigned to what spread. Go all the way to the top. This is our front and back covers, our end sheets. Title page is really where it starts. You're going to go to the spread that has your name. Like right now, mine says Jamie Beavers. Keep scrolling down until you see the one with your first and last name. So I'm going to click on mine. You can double click it. If yours says view only mode, come see me. That means that if something is wrong with the Herf Jones program and I have to reset it, which is actually an easy set or reset. Sorry, pause for just a second. I got to fix something. Every now and then Herf Jones thinks that you're still on that page. There we go. Double click it and it shouldn't say view only. It should say, ready to edit right here. Here we go. I can click on my name now and move it around. All right, let's deal with the first two most commonly used parts of your toolbar. The first one I'm using right now is the arrow key, just things for moving around. Move your name around and see that you can make this text box be located in a different area. You can also make this text box bigger and smaller. Go ahead and leave your name alone for right now. We're going to be dealing with the right-hand side of the spread today. This is where you're going to put some results from our Inside the Actor Studio 10 questions activity that you did in class. There were 10 questions. I want you to take the text tool, the other tool that we're going to be using today. When you hover your mouse over it, it says text or T. Click and drag a box over here in this area. It's going to give you what's called dummy copy. This is Latin journalism placeholder text, and I want you to highlight it all. An easy way to do that is just click one time in it, and on your keyboard, press down Control, then the letter A. That means select all. You could also take your mouse and highlight it all if you want to, but I like shortcuts, so Control A is what I used here. I want you to delete that dummy place holder text and type in question goes here. Now, of course, that's way too small. Highlight it all, either with Control A or your mouse. Go up here to the size. I want to get this to about, let's go with 35. Then I want you to make this bold text. So highlight it and then go to bold. Okay, one of your questions is going to go here. Next, what I want you to do is type in some placeholder text for answers. So we're going to click and drag another text box, highlight that dummy text, and type in quote goes here. I want you to put quotation marks on each side of that. And I also want you to put a period after here. I'll make this bigger for you in just a second. Hit enter, a dash, space, and for right now, type in name, comma, 00. Let's make that bigger so that you can see it better. Let's make this, the question was 30, so let's make this 25. I think it was 35. Let's make this one 25. Okay, we're going to keep this one as regular times. We're not going to make it bold. So right now I have open quote marks. Quote goes here, period, close quotation marks, dash or a hyphen, a space, a name, a comma, a space, and then 00 to represent where we're going to put somebody's grade. Next, I want you to draw a shape. Let's stick with the regular rectangle tool right now. Just draw a random rectangle next to that. Now, here's the nice thing about eDesign. We don't have to retype this again if we want to just reuse it. Click on the box, hold down your Shift key on the keyboard, and click the quote. What that does is it selects both. An easier way to do it, though, is actually take your mouse, start somewhere around it in the white area, and click and drag a box around what you want to grab. So I just want to grab the rectangle or the square and the quote block that I typed in, and I want to go to Edit, Copy. You can also Control C on your keyboard, and I want to edit. Now there's two different types of paste. There's paste, which actually puts it a little bottom and to the right of where it originally starts. There's also one called edit, paste in place. You didn't see it, but it placed it directly on top of what you had there before. You can use either one. In this case, it doesn't matter which one. I'm going to edit paste. So now I have 2 of these blocks. And now I want to do the same thing. I want 4 of them total. I can either edit paste again, or since I already have 2, let's go ahead and select all 4 of these things. Edit copy or Control C, and then edit paste or Control V. All right. Here's a nice thing about eDesign as well. Look how crooked I just put all of those in there. We want to line everything up really nicely. Let's start with the picture boxes. I'm going to click and drag a box, or I can individually hold down my Shift key and select all 4. Then up here on the top, these are really fancy. I call these liney-uppy tools, but arranging objects is what I want you to select. And this is where you're going to line them up. I'm going to click the Align Left button. Now we're all lined up. Don't worry about the vertical alignment just yet. I want to do the same thing with the quote boxes. I'm going to select them all. I'm going to line them all up together on the left. Okay. Now, when it comes to vertical alignment, there is no magic button. You can either eyeball it, or even better, go to View, Show Grid. And if you zoom in, which is several ways again to do this, you can click over here. You can click on the magnifying glass, or my favorite thing is the shortcuts on the keyboard again. Hold down Control. Then next to the backspace on the top right of your keyboard, click plus, plus, plus for zoom in, minus, minus, minus for zoom out. Or you can also do Control and the number 0, puts it all back in the same window. I'm going to zoom in, and here's the unfortunate part. We just kind of have to count how many boxes are in between each thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move that one up. And then I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I think 4 might be too many just for me. Let's do 2. So 2 boxes in between those. Let's move this up to 2 boxes. Let's move this one up to 2 boxes away. I'm going to scroll over to the right, and I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to evenly space out my boxes and my information. So I want to have my quotes be 3 boxes away from my picture, and I want them to be aligned with the top of the picture. You can do this however you want to. I just want it to be nice and neat when your final project is done. Don't just kind of have them randomly floating around. Okay, I can go back and I can realign them if I want to, if they look a little crooked. I think these look pretty good, lined up vertically, and I went in by hand and lined them up horizontally by spacing them apart by 2 boxes, and then 3 between the picture and the quote goes here. Now let's add some information. By the way, this auto saves pretty frequently, but if you're worried you're going to lose something, just a plain old file save or Control S will take care of that. All right. Now, look at your 10 questions that you ask people in our classroom and outside of class, and pick one of the questions. There's many to choose from. How about, what is your favorite word? Now, it can be any of the 10 questions. I'm just going to use this one as an example. What is your favorite word? Now, I'm going to go through all the people that I interviewed, and I want to find some of the best answers. There's one that says home. That was actually from me. And for teachers, staff, or faculty, you can just put comma teacher, you can put comma staff. You can do this however you want to. Over here, another person said, maybe I want you to put their first and their last name, whatever their first and their last name is, that's fine. Spell it correctly. For grades, Do 9 for ninth grader, 10, 11, and 12 for the other grades. We put a 00 placeholder there because most of the grades are 2 digits, but I know ninth grade is just 1. So finish filling out the rest of the information. We're going to do pictures on the next lesson. When you're finished, I'm looking to see your name up here on the top left. I'm looking to see one of the 10 questions. It doesn't have to be this one. And I want that information typed in 35-point bold. I want the answers to be in at least 25 point. I want all your picture boxes to be drawn. I want them to all be the same size and lined up very nicely. I want all of the text boxes to be lined up nicely as well. Here's also a great time to show you this. If you end up with a really long answer, the box that I drew isn't big enough to show all of the information I've typed. That's why you have a red plus right here. That means, oops, there's more to that box. You need to, if you ever see the red plus, you need to make the text box bigger. And there we go. There's the rest of the information. I no longer have that red plus. All right, once you have name, one of the questions, 4 answers, and right now just boxes to represent where pictures are going to go, you are finished with this assignment. We need to print it and turn it in. Last thing, go to File. Don't go to Print. You go to Create Standard PDF. And here's sometimes where we have to sit for a while. Mine's been pretty slow today. Hopefully yours won't be a problem. But it says your PDF is being created. It downloads a copy of the PDF to your downloads on your desktop computer. And we need to kill some time here. So now's a good time to maybe go take a break, go do something else. There we go. Eventually, it pops up on the bottom left of your screen. I was assigned to pages 2 and 3. You're going to see your page numbers down here. Double click it. When you do, you're going to see a print button. Click the print button. Don't just hit print from here. There's one more thing. Right now, this is going to print on 2 separate pages. We need to save some trees and tell it to print pages per sheet is going to be 2. Now we see both pages on one sheet of paper. You should automatically go to our new printer called the HP Universal Printer or Printing. Hit print, then go grab it out of the printer and turn that into the grading tray. It already has your name on it, so you do not need to write your name on it. That is your assignment for eDesign lesson number 1.